said that they're ready to roll.
Well, we have a quorum. We can get started.
Great. Welcome, everyone. Happy Monday. I would like to call the Transportation and Commerce Committee meeting to order. Madam Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Alderwoman Spencer. Alderman Narayan.
Here.
Alderwoman Schweitzer.
Present.
Alderman Browning.
Present.
Chair Cone.
Present.
Alderwoman Spencer. We have 4 present. We have a quorum.
Madam Clerk, can you please verify whether or not Alderwoman Spencer is online?
One moment.
I believe she's joining us virtually this afternoon.
I'm looking and I do not see her.
Okay, well, we'll give her.
So let me see if she's trying to connect, but right now I do not show her on here. One moment. I'll check with the clerk. Chair Cone, we've been informed that she has been sent the link and they're going to resend it to her to see if she's just having difficulty logging on.
Okay, thank you, Madam Clerk.
You are welcome.
I think we'll move on with our regular order of business. The alderman from the 4th Ward actually just mentioned to me that the meeting minutes might need to be reviewed a little further. There's some inconsistencies with the times that are noted on there and whatnot, so I think we might need to go back and look at those before we approve them. So I'll hold on item number 3, and then we'll go into our board bills for review. First on the agenda is board bill number 9, sponsored by Alderwoman Pamela Boyd. Alderwoman Boyd is in jury duty today, I believe, and asked me to have her bill presented here, and I believe we have representatives from Comptroller and Bond Counsel here to speak on board bill number 9. If you'd like to take the podium, please. And then if you want to introduce yourself, and then we'll swear you in.
Good afternoon.
And can you make sure that the mic is on? It should have a green light. Perfect, thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Caitlin Gray. I represent as bond counsel to the city and the St. Louis Municipal Finance Corporation.
Okay, Caitlin, before you continue, can I just have you raise your right hand? And do you affirm that everything that you say before us today is the truth?
I do.
Great, thank you. You can proceed.
All right. As you mentioned, Alderwoman Pamela Boyd is tied up in jury duty, and I am presenting this board bill on behalf of bond counsel. This board bill seeks to authorize the issuance of up to $20 million in leasehold revenue refunding bonds. The issuance of these bonds will result in a decrease in the city's debt service payment obligations. The debt service costs associated with the bonds will be paid solely from rentals and additional rental as such in the lease agreement received by the St. Louis Municipal Finance Corporation from the city under the amended and restated lease agreement relating to the convention center property. The city intends to use hotel sales tax and restaurant gross receipts tax revenues to make such payments. Proceeds from the sale of the bonds will be used to provide funds to pay all or a portion of the costs of refunding all or a portion of the outstanding Series 2015 bonds, provide for the funding of any required debt service reserve funds and/or the purchase of any credit enhancement, if any, and pay reasonable expenses incurred by the corporation and the city in connection with the issuance of the bonds, including premiums of any bond, insurance, or surety. Thank you.
Okay, and this handout goes with Board Bill number 9 that was just shared. I'll give the committee a little bit of time to review.
Is there any way you can provide the clerk a copy of your presentation?
Yes,
Thank you.
I have my copy.
And we can make sure that you get a, oh, wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, I'll take questions from the committee. Alderman Narayan.
Just one question real quick. This looks a bit familiar to me. This is something that we already gone over before in the past? No?
Next Board Bill.
Okay.
But we have spoken ad nauseum about the
Yeah.
convention center and revenue.
Yeah. All right. Well, I have no questions. Thank you.
Look at my new list. Alderwoman Schweitzer.
Thank you, Chairman Cohen, and thank you very much for the presentation, Caitlin. Can you come and go over this page a little bit closer that says Plan of Finance Series 2024 Bonds, Debt Service Savings? That page.
Could you repeat which page you'd like to go over?
It says page 5, St. Louis Municipal Finance Corporation, Convention Center Leasehold Revenue for Plan of Finance.
Plan of Finance starts on page 4, though.
Oh, okay, yeah, she talked a little bit about the items that are on page 4, but I think just maybe a little bit deeper into that history and the plan, and just so I can better understand, I'd appreciate it.
I think the, are you
Yeah.
referring to the convention center or the airport?
It's the convention center.
Okay,
This is,
excuse me,
Sure.
I don't know who is currently speaking, but we don't take commentary from the gallery during these hearings. We're currently on.
hi,
Bill
I'm
num-
so,
We're
I'm
currently on Board Bill
sorry.
number 9.
yes, this is Alderman Cohn. This is Rebecca Perry Glickstein from PFM Financial Advisors. We're the financial advisor for Board Bill number 9. And I thought I was admitted as a potential speaker. I'm sorry if I misunderstood that.
You are on the list of speakers. You need to be sworn in before you provide any testimony,
Okay.
okay? And you need to have your video on in order,
Oh. There I am.
okay?
Sorry about that.
And I'm sorry, you're Rebecca? Oh, yeah,
Rebecca Perry Glickstein. I'm a director at PFM Financial Advisors, financial advisor to the city.
thank you. And would you mind raising your right hand? And do you affirm to tell the truth before this committee?
I do.
Thank you. You may proceed.
Okay. So slide number 5 in the presentation, which sets forth, this current market savings for the refunding of the Convention Center Series 2015 bonds. As noted on this slide, these bonds, the 2015 bonds, the refunding of the 2015 bonds, do not currently meet the city's present value savings threshold for refundings, which is 3% present value savings of refunded debt service. And so that's, you'll see set forth on slide 5, the commentary about that. The market has been very volatile for the last little while, and rates have been increasing. The table below shows you as of April 23rd where present value savings were. So you'll see it's 0.77%, clearly lower than the city's 3% PV savings threshold. The intent here of presenting this to the Board of Aldermen and the committee at this juncture is so that should market conditions improve and interest rates decrease and the present value savings available from a refunding of the Series 2015 bonds raised to or above the 3% PV savings threshold, the city will be in a position to take advantage of that. Because the process to be authorized and to create the documentation around the refunding takes some time. We wanted to proceed with the authorization. We will be working on the documentation, kind of the bulk, high level, big documents, the supplemental indenture, as well as the disclosure document, the preliminary official statement, putting those together so that market conditions improve, we're in a position to enter the market fairly quickly. Again, just restating that market conditions have been quite volatile for some time, and sometimes you catch a window of attractive lower rates, and it is to your advantage to be able to get into the market quickly if that occurs and price your transaction, achieve your savings, and get out. So right now, there is no refunding that meets the city's threshold, but there may be in the relatively near future, and we want to be in a position to take advantage.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Okay.
So then you'd be anticipating some amount of savings, you said. So is there a number we could expect, or is it really just completely dependent on?
At this juncture, and I apologize for not kind of having what the 3% figure would be, but we would not enter into the market until we were sure that we could actually achieve the city's savings threshold, which is 3% present value savings and a limited amount of negative arbitrage.
Okay.
So I can't give you a figure right now. I don't have an estimate.
I got it. This is just in preparation for potential savings that could be coming. Maybe we think.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I always want to make sure I understand what we're talking about. Thank you for that time and for answering my questions. I appreciate it.
Certainly.
Alderman Browning.
Thank you. I think that I had a similar question. So we're expecting interest rates to fall. Just chatter around town is that might be what's happening. So instead of going through the Board of Aldermen process, we're just doing it now so that we can be ready. I'm just trying to catch up here. So that's the case.
Yes, that's correct. That's correct. Yeah.
Okay. All right. No additional questions. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Has Alderwoman Spencer been able to
She
join
is.
the line? Alderwoman Spencer, do you have any questions on Board Bill number?
I have no questions at this moment. Thank you.
Okay. Are there any other folks signed in to either speak in favor or opposition of the board bill?
Nothing
Mr.
from the
Chair,
public,
actually,
but we do have Charles Salisbury who was signed up to speak on 9, David Stenfield, possibly Ms. Karen Jordan.
Do any of those speakers wish to express anything at this time?
This is Karen Jordan. I have nothing. Caitlin Gray appeared in my absence.
Great, thank you.
Mr. Chair, I'm sorry, this is Alderman Spencer. I did have just one question,
Okay, Alderwoman,
which was in line with,
we need you to be on camera.
okay, my apologies. my apologies. I'm taking this remotely today. My question would just be in line with my colleagues. Given that we're kind of preparing for lowering interest rates, what is the mechanism through which, is there any other public component before, they would be reissued? What is the step that would be involved in doing that? Or would we be notified, or would there be any other aspects of involvement?
This is Rebecca again at PFM. I'm not, Alderwoman Spencer, are you asking after, assuming this passes out of your committee and the board, the mayor signs it, that when market conditions improve such that we're actually getting ready to execute the refunding, if there would be some notification back to the board and or the committee? Is that your question?
That's correct. Or if there just be any notification of the public, when those actions are taken, just to keep us abreast of what is going on.
Okay. I'm going to defer to the bond counsel or the city controller's office. I'm not entirely sure what that mechanism is.
I can answer that question if I need to be sworn in.
Karen, thank you. Would you mind raising your hand? You affirm to tell the truth before this committee this afternoon.
I do.
Thank you. You can proceed.
Thank you. So to follow Rebecca's answer, there would not be any independent notification to the committee or the Board of Aldermen. However, there would be, through working with the comptroller's office, the issuance of a public document offering the bonds. So there would be that form of notice that would go out to the public. And in order to actually close the transaction, we would be working closely with the comptroller's office, the mayor's office, the city clerk. So there would be city processes in order just to satisfy the issuance of the bonds, but there would not be any further legislative action taken.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Are there any other questions from members of the committee? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion on Board Bill number 9.
I move that we pass Board Bill number 9 with a due pass recommendation.
Second.
It's been moved by the Alderman from the 1st Ward, seconded by the Alderman from the 9th Ward, that we pass Board Bill number 9 out with a due pass recommendation. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Alderwoman Spencer.
Aye.
Alderman Orion.
Aye.
Alderwoman Schweitzer.
Aye.
Alderman Browning.
Aye.
Chair Cone.
Aye.
We have 5 aye votes.
With that, you sustain the motion from the Alderman from the 1st and have passed out Board Bill number 9 with a due pass recommendation to the full Board of Aldermen. Thank you all for being here with us this morning and navigating without Alderwoman Boyd. Hope she has a very fruitful and fun day over at jury duty. I think we have some of the same speakers signed up for Board Bill number 10. We'll go ahead and take up Board Bill number 10 before the committee this afternoon. I am the sponsor of Board Bill number 10. I will say this is a board bill that has previously been before the committee. This is for airport bonds that have been previously approved both by the Board of Aldermen and signed by the mayor. This is a board bill that is currently pending before us today because it had not passed the Board of Estimate and Apportionment prior to the mayor's signature. And the Board of Aldermen passing it. So it has since been before ENA and was passed out at, I believe, a meeting earlier in April, possibly March. But I was asked to reintroduce this bill so that we could go ahead and continue moving forward with the issuance of bonds. It's around $330 million bond issue. Many of the items that are identified in the bond are for kind of preparation of the airport with respect to the new terminal projects that will be taking place. And I know we have some guest speakers. I'm not sure if any of you all want to share anything further that I might have missed, or just care to speak on the issue at all. Antonio from the airport. Antonio, if you would raise your hand. Do you affirm to tell the truth before the committee this afternoon?
Yes, I do.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, Chairman Cohn and Transportation Commerce Committee. Alderman Cohn, you did represent the board bill very well. This was previously introduced. It is for issuance of $320 million. It is a precursor of projects before we take forth a consolidated terminal project, which we still need to obtain approval for. But there were about 6 projects that this would fund. Those 6 projects were also presented to the airlines who are signatory airlines at the airport, and those airlines approved these projects in fall timeframe, 2023. And then this will just help fund those projects.
Great. Thank you, Antonio. We'll take questions from the committee. Vice Chair Spencer.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I don't have any questions at this time. Since we've been through this before.
Thank you, Alderwoman. Alderman Narayan.
No questions, thank you.
Alderwoman Schweitzer.
No questions, thank you.
Alderman Browning.
No questions, thank you.
With that, Madam Clerk, are there any folks signed up to testify in our support of Board Bill number 10?
Well, yes. I'm sorry, we have some of the same speakers, Ms. Caitlin Gray, Charles Salisbury, David Stenfield, Rebecca Perry Glinkstein, and Ms. Karen Jordan.
And they're signed up as guest speakers, not to in favor or opposition to the bill. So we'll go ahead and move forward then, unless any of you wish to speak. And I'm seeing a bunch of heads nodding no, so we'll go ahead and take a vote on this. I'll entertain a motion on Board Bill number 10.
I move that we pass Board Bill number 10 out of TNC with a do pass recommendation.
Second.
It's been moved by the Alderman from the 4th that we pass Board Bill number 10 out of committee with a do pass recommendation, seconded by the Alderman. First Ward, thank you. Madam Clerk, is there a call for previous roll?
Previous roll.
Any objection to previous roll? Actually, was Alderwoman Spencer on the last roll? She was, okay, great. With no objection, hearing no objection, with that, Board Bill number 10 passes out of committee with a do pass recommendation. That is all that's on the agenda for this afternoon. We don't have any resolutions before us. I know that there was another board bill that was assigned to committee. Board Bill number 7 was introduced by Alderwoman Shamim Clark Hubbard. She asked that I take that up at a later date, and so more to come on that. But otherwise, just for public edification, I am working with Metro, also known as Bi-State Development Agency, on setting a hearing date for them to come and update the committee on items such as call ride and probably other items such as the Green Line, the expansion of the light rail system in the city of St. Louis. So stay tuned for updates with respect to that in the next few weeks as well. Does any of the members of the committee have any discussion items that they'd like to bring forward at this time? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Move that we adjourn.
Second, previous roll.
It's been moved by the Alderman from the 4th, seconded by the Alderman from the 1st that we adjourn. There's been a call for previous roll. Is there any objection to previous roll? Hearing none, motion sustained. We are adjourned.